Hello, this is Alan Wheeler on my YouTube channel where I often talk about tarot and spirituality. And today I want to use tarot cards to reveal secrets of Batman. And I may start a series where I investigate pop culture archetypes. Um, but we'll see how it goes with this. So I'm going to use the Smith Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. I've drawn 3 cards, and by way of introduction, I'm thinking more of the 1980s Frank Miller Batman. I've got the collected works from that time period, and this was kind of the return to the serious Dark Knight after the 1960s kind of colorful, campy Batman television series. And I think we're more familiar with the movies in the 1990s and beyond with the darker, more serious Batman. So we may look at some images from there. Now, also by way of introduction, Batman draws on some other archetypes. There's some overlap. So certainly he has the nighttime imagery of the vampire, like the bat itself, Dracula in the cape. He's a masked figure that is similar with Zorro or the Lone Ranger and other masked hidden characters with hidden identities. He's also a mastermind, a detective, and so this overlaps with Sherlock Holmes, who also borders on insanity in the stories, and the Phantom. If you remember the old cartoon newspaper series called The Phantom, and of course the Shadow. Only the Shadow knows. Now, of course, he's a superhero, originally created in the image of Superman, developed out of that in that time period and out of that popularity, but a dark image. And so when Bob Kane created that character, originally it had red tights, I think, and the finger, the man who did the writing, said go with gray and get away from the brighter colors. And so he became a dark superhero, and then relying on technology, something like Iron Man. But there's some overlap with other archetypes. Now, what secrets can the tarot reveal? And yesterday, when I tried to record this video, I drew 3 cards. I gave this introduction that I just gave. I drew 3 cards, and I froze. I had to stop recording in kind of shock because I needed to sit with these. These actually do dig into the psychology and secrets of Batman, but it was not instantaneous, so I needed to sit with these overnight. But let's look at these. And the first card I drew was the Empress from the Major Arcana. And after some thought, it came to mind that Bruce Wayne is wealthy and has great abundance. And so this is a feature of the Empress. And also, maybe more pertinent, Batman has mother issues. Now, if you doubt me on this, and you may doubt me on some of what I'm going to say, but if you look at his backstory, um, he has a memory here in Batman Year One. In his backstory, he's thinking back, and he's remembering seeing the mark of Zorro with his parents. And he's a young boy. When they come out of the theater, and here's his mother being shot. So his parents are executed there, and this is his kind of motivation. And then he sees the bat here that fills him with fear, and he realizes, I shall become a bat. But his motivation is being orphaned in a way. Now, again, if you doubt me, he becomes a protector, and not just in the fashion of a knight who rides out on a horse, although he does do that. And there's some images here near the ending when the Dark Knight returns. They're apocalyptic, and he does ride through the nuclear apocalypse here in Gotham City on a horse when all the power is put out by an electromagnetic blast. But he's a motherly protector because he adopts, as we know, he adopts Dick Grayson as his ward, who is Robin, and he takes care in costume and out, like a mother bird takes care of her young. So he was orphaned. He takes care of an orphan, and I think the psychology of the mother issues are there, and certainly the abundance and the wealth of the Empress, as he's a millionaire Bruce Wayne. Now, the second card I drew to reveal the deep, dark secrets of Batman was the Five of Wands. And here you see the sparring going on here. And this is, in the alchemical tarot, it's pictured as a hand with 5 burning fingers. So this is not the win-lose situation of conflict that we see in the Five of Swords. This is more the training. This is more the same fingers on the same hand, or people on the same team sparring and training and becoming better in this fiery urge, drive to become better. And this is what really drives Batman. I think this is insightful. His inner demons he wrestles with, and he's bettering himself. And in the early, especially in the early stories, he never he stops villains, but he never kills. And so he's really battling himself and what the shadows of his own nature through the stories. Now, the last card I drew was the Lovers. And again, not a card that I would instantly associate with Batman. And yet, after sitting with them a little bit, I thought, well, Bruce Wayne, again, the wealthy Bruce Wayne, is a playboy. He's a womanizer. And we know that he has entanglements with Catwoman. And so we do have that association. But also the Lovers card is often a the story of self-love or a passion in life. It could be for the divine or coming into harmony of other things than simple romantic love. And so I do think we see in Batman this kind of integration with shadow, certainly. And again, some examples, if there's any doubt. Let's look at a couple examples here. And the first we'll look at is in the story of The Dark Knight Returns, when this is the final conflict with the Joker here. And here we see them cuddled up, and the Joker has just said to Batman, "I'm really very disappointed with you, my sweet. The moment was perfect, and you didn't have the nerve." And you may remember from some of the early movies, the back and forth between Batman and Joker. Batman tells Joker, "You made me." It turns out he was the villain that killed his mother all those years ago. And Batman said, "You made me." And then the Joker, played by Jack Nicholson, rattles off, "I made you, you made me." But in that kind of mocking, ironic tone is hidden kind of a psychological truth that they did create each other. And this is the interplay of the Lover's card. Although they are in conflict, there's this kind of deep relationship there. We see this again in Frank Miller's Batman, when the character sets up a battle with Superman. And I haven't seen the movie Batman vs. Superman, but in this version, Batman orchestrates everything, and he's in a suit powered through the city power, and he has the Green Arrow shooting kryptonite, and Superman has been weakened by the nuclear blast, and so there's a lot has to happen to get them even close to equal footing. And as they're fighting, Superman is weakened enough, and the human Batman is empowered enough that it's actually a fight. There's actually a struggle. And as they struggle, here are the words of Batman. "I want you to remember," and he's talking to Superman here, "my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one who beat you." And then the story goes on, and he fakes his death. But again, we see Superman and Batman cuddled up in almost an amorous pose. Now, I won't go into the theories that Batman and Robin have a homosexual relationship and all of that. But regardless, whether it's the passion and love of his shadow that Batman's entangled with in his conflict with Joker and Superman, we certainly see that energy of there's actually a attraction and love there in those characters. So I will stop there, but thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you find connection with people in your life, with online community, and on your spiritual path, whatever that might be. Take care.